Welcome to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Price & Randall, Injury Attorneys, Lake Expo Real Estate at lakeexpo.com, MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, and New Spring Wellness Center. And we've got the head coaches from Versailles here with us now. It's Wyatt Espinoza and Andy Moon. Guys, thank you for making the trip down Highway 5. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
A snowstorm today too. They braved the blizzard today, which that's basketball weather, right? So
that's right.
There you go. The boys, 8-17 last year, started with a loss to Fatima, I guess, but they're always good. So that was a pretty good showing from you guys in that game.
Yeah, our boys played hard. We want to be winning those close games. Last year we lost a lot of close games, but we got a good group of young and old, and I think we'll figure it out and we'll get rolling here soon.
Absolutely. The girls, 15-12 last year. Really nice turnaround season. That was up 12 wins from the year before. You had to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, no, we had a real good first year. So the girls put in a lot of time and effort, and it showed.
I was talking with another coach's show, and we were talking about Versailles, and he said, look out for that Versailles boys team. They're coming on. So people are taking notice, apparently, of what you've got going over there. So your first season last year, you take over the program. We talked about turning it around, 12 more wins. How did you go about that? How did you get that program turned around so quickly?
Well, I was fortunate, like I said last year, that I had coached in the middle school at Versailles for 4 years before I went to Stover as an assistant in the high school. So some of the girls that I had coached in the middle school were seniors. So I had like Kylie Ritchie and Ari Jones, and a few of those that weren't playing came back and played, which really helped and deepened our bench and our rotation. So had a lot more legs and could get up and down the court a little bit more.
It really helps when you know some of the players, some of the girls from over the years. It works both ways. You know them and they know you.
Yeah, they're used to my yelling, so they knew how to take it, and I knew what they could or could not do, so that helped game plan for other teams. So.
Absolutely. Do you have to coach girls differently than you coach boys, or is it all the same?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Girls, it seems like I'll yell, but then, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, you got to go give them a little pat on the back and tell them that, you're sorry or whatever.
Right,
so, some of them take it well. Others, they don't take yelling very well. So you got to know your personnel and what you can say so the tears don't start falling.
It's funny how it is different, and now you motivate them differently too sometimes. So who are some of the players you're looking to step up, lead the way for the Lady Tigers this year?
Senior point guard Brooke Anderson. She started off pretty good this year. We've had a couple games, and I think she's averaging 15 a game for us right now. So she's stepping up. She's kind of taken over that leadership role that Kylie had last year. Sophomore Reagan Albrecht, she's come a long way since last year. She cracked the starting rotation. She's very tall, long. She's very athletic, so she can get after it and she can score some buckets. And then I've got a freshman guard. She's not playing a ton right now, but I would be looking for her come January, February to give us a lot of minutes.
Cool.
So.
Hey, it's good to have all those Albrecht kids, right? Tall and lanky and good basketball players, that's for sure. How about the guys? Who are the guys you're looking to step up and lead the way this year?
Well, you mentioned one, Braden Albrecht. He returned from the last year's team. He's our leading scorer that we had on team last year. We got a handful of seniors, Joey Bertelli, Ty Morrison, Dalton Reza, and Ben Peck, who they do a lot of different things for us. They can knock down shots, they rebound, they create for others. They do a lot of stuff for our team. They're great team players, and they all seem like they're glue guys for our team. And then as we go down the line, juniors, we have Rowan Allen. I think he averaged about 6.3 points per game last year. He's going to step up this year for us. And then Randy Taylor gets in the mix a little bit. He's a great hustler, and he does a lot of things for us. Gavin Hedrick, he can knock down some shots. Sophomore, I have Jacob Vansel. He's put a ton of work in over the offseason. He's done really well. He's put on some muscle, and he's grew some, so that helps us. And then we got a couple freshmen that are getting in the mix, Ryan Walters, Harmon Olsen, and Jackson Allen. So,
all right.
So we got a lot of guys that are putting in the work and had a good offseason that could contribute for us.
Another Olsen on the way.
That's right.
Always good to know. All right, so we're talking with the Versailles head coaches, and we'll have more when we come back on the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show.
What? Like and follow.
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Cyber Week at Slumberland is here. Up to 60% off list. Incredible deals like an Ashley Midnight Madness sectional for $8.49. Plus a best-selling Lazy Boy recliner for just $3.99. Or an Ashley Chime Peak mattress for just $197. Deals so big, prices so low, all week long. Plus, no interest till 2029 on qualifying purchases. Get these deals while they last. It's Cyber Week, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Heck yeah.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, talking with the Versailles head coaches, Wyatt Espinoza, boys coach, and Andy Moon, coach of the girls. 12-game turnaround for the girls last year. You guys were both in your first season last year at Versailles, second season this year. Are things on track the way you want them to be for your program moving forward?
You know, like you said, it was my first time as a head coach, so it's all new experiences, but you know, I've talked to my mentors, and they said your second year is going to feel much better than your first year. You know, they're going to understand stuff. You're not going to have to re-explain stuff. So that part of things is better. But my mentors have told me that as you go on, it's only going to get better. So I'm still seeing some stuff where I've got to re-explain it. But from what my mentors have said and my experiences, that's just part of it. But yeah, it feels a lot better, and we feel more comfortable with what I'm saying.
Absolutely. How about year number 2 for you, head coach at Versailles?
Yeah, so far we're kind of learning a different offense. We lost some size last year, so I've got a lot more guards. So we're trying to get up and down and play a lot faster pace. The girls are doing very well. They're getting up and down. We're shooting the ball. We just got to make some of the shots.
That helps.
Well, yeah, we've played 2 games. We've been competitive in both games. If we played those same teams again, we probably could have won both games. But you know, it's just how the dice rolls. Our shooting percentage hasn't been real great, but we've gotten good opportunities and good looks. So I'm happy with where we're at for right now. So we're still growing. We're still getting better.
That's fantastic. And it's funny how you do have to change from year to year depending on size and talent and whether you're going fast or going slow. In years past, Versailles was known that you guys were like the highest scoring team in the nation one year, I think. It was run and gun, throw up a 3, whatever. What is your style now? Do you still like fast paced?
Yes, absolutely. We want to push the pace. We play better with pace, and kind of like what Coach Moon said, we don't have a ton of size. Our tallest guy is the Albrecht kid, and he's not going to go work down low or anything like that, and he can really shoot it. So we feel that with our depth and our speed and the lack of size a little bit, playing with pace is what's best for our team.
Yeah, and it must have been a really positive thing. You lost that game to Fatima, but they're really good, and it was a close game, so it had to give you some good thoughts.
Absolutely, and like I said, we don't have much size, and that's all Fatima had. They had a ton of size. So one thing that I was nervous for before the game was how are we going to handle their size well. When we play with pace and we get them going up and down, sometimes we take the size out of it. So
There you go.
it helps with our game plan, and sometimes, we see teams that don't have great depth, and we can go get them tired and get them in foul trouble whenever we play with more possessions.
Absolutely. Make a negative a positive. So we're talking with the head coaches at Versailles. We'll have more with them when we come back on the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
For our Lake area teams, they've got their eye on the prize this season with big aspirations.
And basketball can be similar to driving, where sometimes it can be a matter of focus and attention.
Distracted driving led to over 25 fatal crashes on Missouri roadways in 2024 alone.
So be a part of the solution and not another statistic.
Always remember to buckle up and put your phones down. This reminder to drive safe, boat safe, brought to you by Price & Randall, injury attorneys.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show. Wyatt Espinoza and Andy Moon, head coaches at Versailles. High school basketball, it's supposed to be fun, but it's also hard work if you're going to be any good, right? How do you balance those two things with your players? How do you do it with the girls?
Well, I tell them the practice should be the hard part. The game should be the fun part.
Okay.
So practices have been a lot more intense this year. A lot more getting up and down, a lot more competitive, but we'll sprinkle in some fun games here and there. But the fun games are still competitive. They have a winner and a loser during the game, so they're always competing, always trying to beat the other team so they don't have to run the lines. So
Right.
They understand it, and they're working at getting better, and we have had a lot more competition. We're a lot deeper this year, so even when we go 5-on-5 scrimmages and stuff like that, the games are always close and competitive.
And fun. There you go. How do you balance the fun and the hard work?
Well, Coach Moon kind of hit it a little bit, but our practices are very competitive. Everything that we do has a number on it, has a time on it, and we're competing against somebody. Whenever they walk into practice, they have their team for the day, and they know who they're competing against each and every day. So everything we do is competitive, and I think that brings a lot of joy to them. I think we're all competitive in a way. So the more that drill work or small-sided games that we can do that are competitive, I think it gets more out of the kids and the kids enjoy it more. Now, there are some stuff that they look at the practice plan each day and they kind of roll their eyes and that stuff, that's what I tell them. That's whenever they're hurting, that's what expectations feel like. So that's just part of it, and I tell them that part of the expectations, stuff we got to do to get to the point where we want to be.
I don't know what the drill's called now. When I was playing back with the dinosaurs, it was suicides where you run. That was not fun. When did you fall in love with basketball?
That is a good question. I think when I was a kid, I remember the first time I joined like a basketball team, and played in our youth, and I was in 5th grade. But before that, I had a basketball goal, and I was able to just go out and I was able to play by myself. And I think that's where I really enjoyed it, was where it was something I can do by myself out in the yard.
Absolutely. How about you?
I grew up with basketball. I mean, I had 3 older brothers and 2 older sisters. So, I mean, when I was a baby, that we were getting lugged to basketball games and gyms. And as far as I remember my brother David, he played at Westminster, and I was probably 10 to 13 at the time, and I'd already been playing basketball, but I got to be the water boy for the college,
Wow.
Westminster. So that like really improved my drive and love for basketball, be able to be on the bench with like the college players and see it from a different perspective. So
And once it gets in your blood, it's there, right? I mean, once you fall in love with basketball, was it your best sport?
I would say it probably was.
How about you?
Yeah, I was 6'4", 175 pounds soaking wet, so it's about the only sport I was decent at.
Yeah, you're 6'4", you got a good shot at it, right? Okay, so in the holiday season, you got the Christmas music going everywhere. You have a favorite Christmas song that every time it comes on, you got to sing along?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but whenever you ask me about my favorite, and the first one that came to my mind, I think back whenever I was at my grandma's house, and she would always play it on her radio, and it was White Christmas.
Oh,
she
the old
would
Bing Crosby one?
That's right, yes.
Oh, yeah. That was like the #1 selling song in the world for several years. How about you? Favorite Christmas song?
There's too many to think.
Really?
No, I probably don't have a favorite. I have kids now, so we listen to a lot of the smaller ones, or the kid ones, so probably Jingle Bells right now is probably a big one that gets played.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
Yeah.
Singing along. You know,
Yep.
that song was actually written for Thanksgiving. I just learned the other day.
Really?
Jingle Bells, right. So there you go, the Versailles head coaches. Guys, thank you for coming by. Appreciate it.
Yep,
Good luck
thanks,
this
appreciate
season.
it.
By the way, we'll be carrying 3 Versailles games this season, so be watching for those on Lake TV. And thank you for joining us for the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show.